which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Welcome, everybody. Looks like we got Kristen is absent this evening from the workshop, so we have the other five counselors here. We'll start off with any public comment. Anybody have any public comment this evening? Yep. Go ahead, step up there and state your name for us, please.
It's Mary Rodriguez, and I bought the property 1013 4th Street Southeast in Hampton. So we have little chickens. It's an 8 acres, roughly 8 acres. So we have the chickens for health issues. I have kids, they like to play outside. So I have the kitchens to like eat the bugs, the ticks, and stuff like that. So that's why I'm here regards to the letters we received in that we couldn't have chickens. So I was wondering if you guys can consider that us that live more outside, it's acreage regards to the city, inside the county, that it's smaller. Because I know we have an issue with chickens being inside in town, and that's why I'm here. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for coming in. We'll definitely give that some thought. Is there anybody else got public comment?
Hi, guys. My name is Sarah Kolb. I reside at 1620 140th Street. I am also here pertaining to the agenda item about acreage properties within the city limits to own particularly chickens and other type of livestock if amenable, but tonight for chickens. There are very few of us here in town within city limits that own an acreage, probably 3 acres or larger. My property itself is 3 acres. And while I am not a recipient of a letter to not have poultry, I am invested in this. I have spoken to members of the city council. I have spoken to members with the City Works, with Doug Tarr. I've spoken with my neighbor, Don Warnicki, who sits on the zoning commission about this issue, and it seems to have a lot of favor amongst the people that I've spoken with. But we would be appreciative if the city could take it into consideration for properties that are several acres in size within city limits to have a reasonable number of poultry livestock on our property. I did pull City Chapter 55. There is something that is listed in the ordinance codes for the city of Hampton. It's item number 55.05. It does say regarding livestock, it is unlawful for a person to keep livestock within city except by written consent of city council or except in compliance with the city's zoning regulations. So clearly it has been an avenue for an exception to be made for those of us who are interested in having chickens. So that is where I stand. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. All right. Anybody else?
I just want to clarify, did you own chickens now, or you want to own them?
I'd like to own them.
Okay, all right, I didn't know if you had them now, okay, thank you.
Any other public comment at this point? Hearing none. We'll move on. Nuisance update. Chief Morrison and Mr. Tarr.
Yeah, last 2 weeks we've written 38 nuisance notices. We usually do a spring push leading to the community cleanup and then a fall one going into the winter months so that we can get into court and get the court orders before it really starts getting too cold and hard for the street department to help us clean those up. 6 municipal citations were written last week. We had 4 cases that went to court. 2 got court orders. 1 person was continued and 1 was abated. So that's kind of the update right now for nuisances.
All right. Doug?
Thank you. I'll just add to, I believe I have 5 municipal infractions that were shored up today for actually the grass and weeds violations. I believe we are sitting at 151, and there was another 10 that were outside the list today that were observed out of in violation. Yeah, it's been an uncanny year. The weeds are growing, the grass isn't, but we still have to maintain. And a lot of the problems we're running into now seems like too where people are mowing, but then they're not string trimming or, doing some of that. So anyway, so we've been delivering on that. Good news, the notice that I sent out at 824 First Street Northeast, that property has been demoed. I think all that's left now is cleanup and foundation, so that's a good deal. That'd be nice, buildable lot, hopefully when they're done in a really nice neighborhood, so that'd be great. And then, of course, the asbestos removal team, scheduled to be in any day. They might even done some work over the weekend at that 121 First Avenue Northeast. So I'm hoping they can get that completed in the next couple weeks so we can get it on the fire department schedule for a training fire. And then there's, obviously Rick's Pharmacy still going and a few others. So, we got a lot going on. Any questions?
Yeah,
Palmer.
I had Weasel's old house there on Third Avenue.
Yep.
I did see a couple guys there. I don't know what they were doing, but
They were going to be doing the asbestos testing, and then we have asbestos abatement for that as well. But that property, bones of that structure are still good. City owns it, so we'll be looking at trying to market that once we get the asbestos out of it.
I have a question.
Do the notices you send out include, like if there's some like tall weeds, just like at the curb along the street, like there's some
Right.
like along Highway 65
Yeah.
especially, and it just really looks tough?
It does. Some yes. I would say if they're making a really good attempt, it's hard to win those in court. So a lot of times it's a conversation with folks, but you're not wrong. The highway corridors and throughout the community, the curb lines look bad. That's one of those things where I wish people would, use their string trimmer, edger a little bit, but it's so out of hand that I don't know if I start singling people out for just that, if that's going to sit well or not. But if you guys would like me to, I would certainly move forward with some of that, because I agree
I was
with
just
you.
wondering if you
That-
did include
right.
those or not, so you're
Oh.
just saying maybe it depends.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
It depends on whether or not the rest of the property they're working on it. So we try to be reasonable.
Let's find out, I'd leave it up to your best judgment.
Yeah, but I agree with you, for sure.
Anything else nuisance related? Not hearing anything?
Thank you.
Thank you for the updates. Move up to the next item. Mrs. Grolke is here to discuss council permission to have poultry at 1000 4th Street Southeast.
Good evening. I should have put my husband's name on here so I didn't have to talk, but my husband Butch is here also. So yes, we did receive a letter from Halsney stating that, with our chickens. So we have, I think it's 2.8 acres, live on the south side of town. And yes, we have talked with our neighbors. And as they have spoken, they each have 3 acres or more. So as one of them had said, there's not many properties inside city limits that have acres, it's lots or what have you. So I think from talking to people, I think maybe how this came about is somebody maybe was annoyed with having chickens and the chickens coming over and eating their flowers and, doing their thing on their yard, and which I would absolutely not like either. But the different thing about us is we do have acres. We don't have any neighbors directly next to us. And I guess, just as Sarah had said, with code 5505 with the livestock, we're just asking for an exception by written consent of the council to consider, that we could allow chickens on our property. So is there questions?
Okay. Mr. Davies has a couple of questions.
How are they contained?
So we do have a chicken coop, and we currently do let our chickens out. They put themselves away at night, and then, they're free-range chickens. Ours are. Currently, that's what we have
And
them
do you have
do.
any roosters?
We do not have roosters, no. Nope.
Those are my questions.
I've got grandkids. I can't have roosters.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
Yeah.
How much
Fine.
waste do you have, and how do you handle that?
Waste?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're free range.
You have okay.
So-
So I was wondering if someone had a garden, they would use it on that, but,
Oh, I mean,
know,
so like in the winter, they're in the chicken coop because it's insulated and such. So in the winter, they're in the chicken coop, and my son gets the pleasure of cleaning that out, and then we just dispose of it to, gardens or Butch's sister. She lives out in the country, what have you. So, yeah. But otherwise, they're free range. So we deal with it. It's our
have
choice.
any of them ever been hit on the highway?
No, believe it or not, they don't go on the highway. I'm sure you've seen them out there, but they're just pecking away. No, they don't go out on the highway. So they're actually kind of fun and interesting little animals. I don't know. They come up in the morning and talk with me, and yeah, I know I'm weird. They're fun. So, yeah. Bill.
So how many chickens are you talking about, Jennifer?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I can't speak for how many. That would have to be something you guys would have to kind of discuss and maybe ask, these other people that have acres of how many chickens they're talking. We currently have 9. And honestly, I just for Butch and I don't anticipate going above too much more than that. So, but that's only speaking on behalf of Butch and I. I don't know what the other people are thinking or their wishes are, so.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions regarding?
I guess I don't care. Plain and simple, I don't care. You don't live next door to me. And you live on a acreage type of area on that side of the highway, or on that side of what used to be a train track.
Right, yeah.
We have such a problem in this town, and I really think that the code was written for everybody else but me, and everybody else but you, and everybody else but everybody else. The code must be for other people, because all of a sudden we got people owning chickens and whatnot, and it says in our code you can't own chickens. And let's say, I'm gonna play devil's advocate, and let's say we say, okay, Jen, you guys can have chickens. Well, somebody reads that in the paper, hears on the radio, oh, wait, they don't hear anything else other than you can have chickens now.
Right.
And so next door to me, and next door to Jim, and next door to Barry, all of a sudden we got chicken coops, and we're putting Quick Start out of business for eggs. That's more what I'm worried about. If it's on an acreage, I really don't care. And you guys, Brian Hansen, we approved some cattle one time that he's got way out that nobody can even see. So, and that again is another acreage situation. And maybe we need to write up our code a little bit different too. If you're on, this sort of a acreage or amount of land, then yes, go ahead. But we don't. So, like I said, it doesn't bother me because you don't live next door to me. But there are people. Unfortunately for you, there's not a whole lot of people that do live next door to you.
Right.
So it's just up to the neighborhood. So, it looks
Yeah,
neat.
and I knew that, I know what you guys go through. I mean, I know it's not always fun being on the council, and I know you have to you have to consider every angle. I completely understand that. And, and so Butch and I, we're like, let's just go find out what they say and to see if we can get this exception, because of the fact that we do have acres versus a city lot. I just think that is the big difference with what we're dealing with. So, yeah. Any other questions or comments?
I don't have sorry.
No, go ahead.
I don't have a question, just a comment, just a thought for my fellow council members. If we grant this and this and this, we've already got 3 people here requesting chickens in the city limits, and they all live on acres. I think before we give consent, we need to look at our code then. If we're going to consider saying yes, we need to rewrite our code. You have to have X number of acres or something along that line. And so I don't think it's going to be an easy answer. I don't think it's going to happen right now or even Thursday night.
Right.
I think it might be something that's ongoing that we really need to take a look at and research further.
Right.
Mr. Davies?
I understand what you're saying, but, for me, the code, I don't have a problem making an exception, looking at it a case-by-case basis. And we do have like some criteria with that, and we can certainly update the code. But again, I don't have a problem making exceptions because we can do that according to the code.
Anybody else? A couple items. The first thing I'm going to say, and doesn't mean I'm totally against it, but we have city limits for a reason.
Yep.
And there's city limits, and you live inside them, or you live outside of them. We try to keep our code, so that it benefits the most people that we can.
Yep.
And the other thing, the free range bothers me a little bit.
Okay.
Because, we have a leash law, we have people with their dogs, we tell them to, contain them, this and that, and your chickens are free. And I get it, they're small,
Yeah.
and I totally know what you're saying. But I've got I live on the north end of town, the guy north of me, mine's a half acre, he's got an acre. So now where do we draw the line on what's acreage? What's an acreage now? Then we gotta define that as well. And I don't know if this would come into play, but the nursing home and the care center are right down there too, in that vicinity, with the other properties as well. So it's something else that would probably need to be considered, in my opinion.
I don't have a problem with it. I like Jim's idea, but we have to do something as far as complaints, and a certain size. We just can't. My lot's 66 by 120. I don't think I need to have chickens on that.
Yeah.
So if, we have to have something to back it up if someone's complaining, like a neighbor. It can't be someone that's driving by complaining. It has to be something substantial from a neighbor.
Right. Because that reminded me, you said your neighbors were, or I don't know if they're your neighbors or your speaking generally.
These two gals right here.
That somebody's,
We're all from the south. We're from the south side.
somebody was complaining about them getting in their garden and getting in their stuff and this and that. So that right there becomes a nuisance,
Right.
to your neighbor. So
Yep. Nope. When I was saying that I had talked to my neighbors, that's these two ladies right here, because they're interested with having the chickens as well. But we don't have any neighbors directly to us. Honestly, if our chickens they are free range, if they went beyond, if they're going over to Dollar Fresh, we're going to do something about it. We are.
We need to have some sort of a, quantity thing too. We can't have 50 chickens.
There's no way I would want 50 chickens.
yeah.
I agree. I completely agree. That would be excessive. That should be living on a farm, but.
This process, we just need a little more
Yep.
discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely going to take some more discussion.
But in Hampton, somebody's gonna want 50 chickens, they're gonna raise them in their basement.
Oh, wow. That's, I guess that's, yeah.
But, like I said, it's in our laws, our code here that, with a written, exception, we can approve it and change the code down the road, defining acres or acreages or whatnot, but like I said, you're in an area where you're all in agreement because you all want chickens. So you can't complain because she's got them and she's got them, but you don't have them. I mean, that's kind of the deal. McSweeney's had a horse in the barn.
Yep.
I don't even think anybody cared about that.
Yeah.
Anyway, again, it's just that when people hear, oh, chickens, they're gonna wanna, and you know what's gonna happen, so.
And we've had cases where we've had to run them out of actually houses in town. You know, so people have tried to raise them here already, and we're,
Yep. No, I understand.
down.
And yeah, I mean, I really want to kind of, I know you guys can't see it as being simple because you've got a lot of the legalities of it and dealing with the city overall. But I just, would ask for you to just consider and kind of hear us out and maybe make an exception. So, any other questions, or what should we do from here? Do we just kind of wait to hear back from you?
so we're gonna have to end up, put it up on another workshop for us, because we're gonna have to, did you have something there or no?
Yeah, I was gonna say, write us up a sheet of what your intentions are,
Okay,
draw a map, how big your land is, and submit it, because that's what it says, you need to submit something,
okay.
so.
And I didn't invite your.
You want, these guys got to do that also. Can we submit one together and just put all three of our names on it, or do you want one individually or separate? Okay,
Yeah, because it's gonna take some discussion, and it's, like I said, there's a lot of moving pieces, and we need to make sure that we've got everything covered, and
yep.
we don't end up with a chicken town.
Yeah, I understand.
I like chickens.
I mean, yeah,
Don't dislike them, so,
okay.
so I think we will move, if you guys can get the information for us, and then we'll put it on another workshop, and we'll discuss it as a council much further, and I'm sure in detail, so that we can
Okay.
get to the right spot, whichever that may be at this
Okay.
point, so.
I mean, they're chickens, so, I mean, it's not life or death. I mean, we enjoy them, we want to have them, but, I mean, we also understand. I mean,
Sure.
so, yeah.
Sure.
But,
Yep.
all right, thank you guys for
Def-
everything you do.
Yes,
We appreciate it.
appreciate you coming in, and.
I'm not being disrespectful, but I am going to scoot out, okay?
No,
So,
that's fine,
Thank you for your time.
unless you want to sit here, and then I can leave.
No, I'm good.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, let's move on to our next item. Discuss dog registration process, information on the raffle, and waiver and registration fee ideas. Mr. Don, did you have some information on that?
Yeah, so in getting information from our attorney, she indicated that a license would be required, a gambling license, would be required if the individuals, that would be our customers who register their dog, had to pay something to enter into a drawing, a raffle of sorts that was brought up as an idea. Because the individuals would obtain a dog license if they did it free of charge, like if we waived the fee, then, I gotta find where I was. No gambling license would be required. If they're required to pay for the license in order to enter the drawing, then a license would be required. The city council could choose to suspend dog license fees for a period of time if they have a rational reason for doing so. And the fee could be waived for a period of time to address the issue. If the city is interested in encouraging the licensing of dogs in general, it may be more effective and reasonable to reduce or eliminate the license fee altogether. If the city does want to waive the license fee for a period of time, she suggests to do so by a formal moratorium, since the license fee is imposed by city code. And then also, she indicates that if the city ends up entering all dog license holders in a raffle, and if some of the individuals were charged for their licenses, then she believes a gambling license would be required. If you only enter people who are not charged for the license in the raffle, then she does not believe a license is required. So we have a number of people. We have about 81 registered dogs, 81 owners of dogs. Some of them have more than one dog. All of them to this date have paid a registration fee. So If we did a raffle, we'd have to have a license. And so, however, if someone else did a raffle, we could provide them with the list of, it's public information. I found out also it's public information who has a registered dog. So if we provide that list to somebody else with a license, then they could have a raffle. Because it wouldn't be the city doing the raffle. So that's the information I found out. She threw out a couple ideas here of a moratorium of a license fee for a period of time, or suggesting that consider eliminating the registration permit fee altogether as an option. By doing that, you'll eliminate one complaint of people saying, I can't afford to register my dog. You're taking that out of the picture. But anyway, discussion.
Anything?
Well, I don't think we should waive any dog fees. It's not fair to the people who've already paid. And, when somebody has a dog at the vet center and they stiff us on it, or whatever, somebody's got to pay the bill. I figured the dog license money could go to that, to help offset anything that's at the vet center. So I'm not in favor of waiving that.
I would like
Go ahead.
I would like to say that, I know it was suggested that the chamber, because they have a gambling license, do something like that, but I strongly feel it's not the chamber's responsibility to enforce city code. I like the idea of waiving the fee for a short time to encourage people, to inspire people to come forward and get their dog registered, and then draw out of the hat of the new registrants. Thank you very much for registering your dog. Again, I just don't see the chamber going for that. We have enough things going on, and we're about promoting businesses and promoting our downtown, not about enforcing city code. I did like Bill's idea of waiving the registrations for a period of time, a 2-week period, whatever, see how many people come in and get their dogs registered and give them the prize.
Go ahead.
Well, I would like to proceed with this also, if for no other reason, it's one time that Jerry and I agree. I think that we're on a roll. We're on a roll there, and I want to keep it going. But Jerry's absolutely right. I think it's in the right direction to incentivize people to register their animals, to make sure they're vaccinated properly. And it's too bad we didn't think about this before the proclamation a few weeks so we could be more organized with it, but that's just the way it is. But I had another thought about this dog waiver fee and the incentivize dog registrations, and this was the idea, and bear with me for a minute. What if we did it for a full year? No registrations for a year, but let's say my dog buster is due in August. If I stop in July and give Becky my paperwork and fill out the papers, and Becky hangs on to it until August, if I do this before the August due date, she's not going to charge me my fee. If I wait until my August date, I pay my regular fee. Plus, if you have a new person that comes in during that month, they get it free if it's new, whoever's new during that month. So if you want to give away a prize for an incentive, every new registry that month, and any person that's already been registered, if they come in a month early and register, they get it free. So everybody has an opportunity to get it free. Everybody has a chance to win a prize. We could do this for a 1-year trial period to see if registrations go up. If I go in like Buster on my regular month of August, it's during August, I pay a fee. If I go in after that, then we hit them with a stick and maybe add $5 to that fee. So that's what I would kind of propose. A month early free plus the new registrations. During your month, your regular rates. After month, maybe a $5 penalty for being late. and just do it for a 1-year period to see if you can spark new interest during this next year. And I don't know how many prizes you had, but do you have enough prizes for once a month? And it doesn't have, you could just put a number on the prize, and whoever wins could draw their number out of the hat and pick whatever the prize number associates with, they could take the prize. But I thought it would be good for a 1-year period, and we can do that. We don't need to go to a lawyer and ask them if we can do that. I guess that's another thing. And why are we always running to the lawyers for this? I mean, I don't know how many cities there are in the state of Iowa, but we're all asking questions to the lawyers. Don't you have a bank of questions that have been to the lawyer? These are simple questions. We shouldn't be spending $100 or $150 to get a response from a lawyer, and I'm sure that's what that cost us, to get this response. And I understand you have to go to a lawyer for a great deal of things, but something as simple as this, I don't know, do we always have to jump and go to a lawyer for a consultation?
Well, I'm not a lawyer, and this is a legal question.
Right, but what I'm saying, Ron, is it,
There's many
Is there-
times,
is there
Bill,
a
that
pro-
I answer questions that I don't go to a lawyer.
is there a, I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is, if a question comes up like this and you think you're looking for a legal answer, is there a pool of questions that have been asked already, that answers, that you could go to a pool and type in your question and see if an answer comes back that's already been asked somewhere else in a legal question in the state of Iowa?
Yeah.
So that we don't have to pay that $100 fee?
There are, there are questions that get asked on a city listserv, and oftentimes a first reaction is, why aren't you asking your city attorney? You're asking a legal question of colleagues who aren't lawyers, and if your goal is to protect the city and to keep us out of a situation where we're exposing ourselves to the risk of a lawsuit, whether it's a discrimination or something else, I think it's a wise use of funds to get legal advice and then follow the legal advice.
Okay. I guess my question is this, Ron. You asked a specific question to Christian Stone, which is fine. But what I'm saying, could you put together a registration of, this is the question I asked of our, and this is the response I got from our attorney. And then, so if another town had that exact same question, they could type that in and look at the response you got and see if it applies to their city, so they can avoid the fee of the $100. I guess that's my question. Is something like that available to you? If not, could we set something like that up within the cities? Because this is, I mean, when I did the bills last month, I don't know, what was it, $400 an hour, and you asked a 10-minute question. I don't even think it was 10 minutes, and we're signing off on a bill for $100, and I'm thinking, every time something like this, there's got to be a better way to do it. And I'm not accusing you of anything, Ron.
I just see
I don't want you to think
value,
that.
I see value in seeking legal advice. And if the council doesn't seek value in that, if the majority of the council doesn't see value in that, then you'll have to, the majority of you tell me that. I'm not going to quit seeking legal advice, but yeah, there are many times, Bill, where I'll ask questions of my colleagues on things that aren't, there's no risk of a potential of being sued or getting into a legal bind. We do that all the time, Bill.
Okay. So what I'm hearing, there isn't a resource then?
Yes, there is. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's basically an email listserv that the cities have access to pose questions of other cities. Hey, what are you doing in situations like this? And it's a great resource.
Okay.
But I hesitate to do it for legal advice on something where there's, a gambling license, is it required or not? And so, I see that as a legal issue.
Okay. Well, I wasn't accusing you of anything, Ron. Just curiosity. I just
Yeah,
was hoping
I
there was a
understand.
better process.
yeah.
I think one thing I would add to that was that, we have a city attorney that we use, and we're comfortable with them, and that's who we go for. So if we go into a repository, so to speak, and ask a question, well, it may be from some other attorney.
Mhm.
So why would we have a city attorney for us to go to? that's we're there, and basically we budget for that kind of stuff. You know, we're gonna spend so much a year on attorney's fees. Need that.
Yeah, and I can certainly understand that, Steve. It's just, if we're all asking the same question, and I'm not saying we aren't, but
Yeah.
sometimes you've got to stumble
Yeah,
on the
it's-
exact
it
same question
seems-
from a city that you
It
could,
seems simple.
you think you could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do it when I can.
I
Absolutely.
mean, and you say, well, just Google it. Well, we had a lady up here many times, Google it. And at one time, she said the mayor was in charge of the food banks and the hospital, the schools, and she was way off base on that. So it's something you just can't Google. I just knew that when you hear no purchase necessary, that means you don't need to buy anything. Now, something I've always been critical of, and I've shared it with people, and nobody really seems to care, but if they have a gambling license, that's fine, that works out. It's the Chamber's holiday thing where you provide a receipt to be entered into a drawing. That means you had to purchase something to enter a drawing. And so that, to me, is a lottery. But now if you've got a gambling license, and that's all good and it's all spelled out, so it's evidently a moot point. But no, I don't want to see anybody discriminated against because they paid $7 here and it's free there. I think there's a point to the fees of people who stiff us at the vet center, and it does go in, I'm sure, to gals up front for their wages a little bit, whatever I mean, it's a minuscule amount, but it's still an amount. You waive it for 1 year, and the next year is going to be, someone's going to say, well, God, last year you did it for free, and that's all we're going to hear out of that, and that's going to be another negative. So, run the contest however you want, but I think that's what you're going to end up with, is a bunch of people the next year saying, geez, I got last year's for free.
Yeah.
But I think the prizes are cute. Overall, I think it's a good idea. I wish there was a better way to handle it.
Right.
I think the intentions are good, but I don't think the results is gonna be anything to brag about, because we can't even get people to mow their lawns. A lot of people keep their dog in the house, they never let it out, only to go to the bathroom. So, you know, there's no incentive for them to register their dog. Hopefully, they're getting their rabies shots.
Yeah, I think that's, to me, that's more of
And the-
of a concern.
Once you get that shot,
Yeah.
the vet sends you a postcard when it's due.
So we could go through we could do our prizes, we could put them out at the vet centers. People get them vaccinated. To me, that vaccine is much more important than registering. I mean, we can't get them to register them, so if we say we got rid of our registration fee, is that gonna help them register them? Maybe, maybe not, probably not.
Well, if we don't try, we've got nothing to go for it. If we are lucky, and I agree with Barry and I agree with Pat, we would be lucky to increase that. But if we were lucky and we increase that registration of vaccinated animals, then we'd have a database to go by. And then if next year we chose, okay, now when we send out the utility bills on the month they're due, we're going to put on that utility bill, your vaccinations are due. At least we got someplace to start. But if we don't try with some sort of incentive program, we're going to be in the same boat forever.
Right.
I reflect that. We got to try. We can't just naysay everything.
Right,
I'd like to be a council of action.
sure.
And if we don't try, where are we going? Nowhere. We're just sitting here on our hands, and next time a dog attack comes up, we're all going to go, oh my God. And it's just going to be the same thing again. We're just spinning our wheels over and over and over again. What we're trying to do is inspire people, get them excited about doing the right thing for their dog. And I do like the idea of suspending it for a year. That way, everybody gets a chance to be part of it for a full year, because we have to register yearly. So everybody gets a chance to be part of it. But I do want to keep it simple, because that is overwhelming for the city clerks to have to keep track of, are you a month early, are you on time, are you a month late? Just come on in, get your dog registered, we'll throw your name in the hat for this prize. I do like that idea. Let's go a whole year. We're not gonna lose that much money. We only have 81 registered dogs anyway.
Right. Yeah, you can do moratorium, if I can say it, for a year, and then should be back at square one if we got an annual license. As my other point, and you hit on it, Jerry, is the city staff time. You know, it takes time to do that stuff. We can't just be throwing this stuff on, well, they can take care of it, we can't do that. We've got to be cognizant of their time, because they're busy. They're busy. They're just sit up there and wait for the phone to ring, So we've got to take that into consideration when we're putting something together for it. So.
I'd at least like to be able to tell people, we tried.
Well, sure.
We tried.
Sure.
Instead of thinking of all these reasons why we cannot, let's think of reasons why we can.
Okay. I think that's a good start. That there's a lot of pieces that need to fall into place, and then if we're going to do a moratorium on the dog licenses, that's probably the place to start.
Yep.
Get it over, get rid of it for a year. We got none, and then we got a fresh slate. Anybody, yes, no?
Starting 2026, January 1st, 2026, or waive for a year?
Wherever.
And December 31st,
Yeah,
we
We'll
draw
figure
a
it out.
prize.
We'll figure it out.
yeah, we'll pick a
We
date.
draw prizes.
So at least then we got a starting point. We don't have to figure out who's paid for them and then who's not going to pay for them, and now they're going to be mad, and you know how it goes. We've been there. So I think we should, I mean, I had it wrote on my paper, rescind the ordinance, for dog licenses. If we don't want to do that, let's do it for a year, get everybody to square once, and then we can go from there. I don't think we're gonna get that much over a year. We're not gonna increase the dog license applications, but at least we'd have a place to start.
And
Right. Mr. Davies?
I was just going to say, I think we just need to put together a plan, keep it as simple as possible, and get it going. Give it a try.
I also appreciated Barry's suggestion a couple of meetings ago that, hey, maybe we should just back our registrations off to every 3 years, so it coincides with when your rabies vaccinations are due.
I think we would get more licenses that way.
Yeah, I
But
like
we
that idea,
should do
too.
something to not force them to get it chipped, but suggest they get it chipped.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I'm a firm believer in those.
If we could reduce the fee a little more, or, because we reduce the fee when they're neutered. So, I don't know. It's like anything, we sit here and discuss a lot, and it seems like the process is slow.
Yeah, we do reduce. We'd have a reduction for neutered or
Yeah.
spayed.
Yeah.
So is this registration fee, is it gonna go like, if you neuter, like, you cut, like, get the rabies shots and stuff like that? So is your registration fees going up every year, depends, or is it just
We don't
set?
know. We don't know that yet, so.
Oh, okay, I was like, 'cause I'm hearing, well,
Yeah,
you get a-
I don't see that happening, but,
If you don't.
yeah, I don't see that happening, but that's something that's gonna have to be taken into consideration.
Is it registered?
No.
See you tomorrow.
I just saw it.
See you tomorrow.
So that's why I stayed, because I saw the restriction, but I'm like. Register chickens.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it gets like,
So,
shots or
Right.
rabies shots. like,
It's annual. It's good for a
Annual
year.
right now.
Currently, it's good for
Okay.
1 year.
Current.
that
Yeah.
at one
So you have to
time.
keep coming back annually.
Okay.
Yeah.
so I think what I'm hearing is a more, I can't say it, a moratorium, got it, for a year on dog licenses.
Starting,
That's something we want to start looking at. We're gonna have to write stuff up and get ready. But
like, for the whole 2026?
when you have, what, our things are to when they get their dog license. So it's not like an annual thing. So we could start at any time, or we could start it on January too. Be cleaner if we do it on January,
I think so too.
I think.
The only good thing about starting it right away is your dog proclamation started on Saturday, September 20th. So if we could get it going right away, we could tie it up next year at the same time, because it's always the third week in September for
Right.
the
Good point.
for the dog owner, responsible dog ownership.
Yeah.
If you could tie it up right away.
So we'd have to, yeah, so we'd have to get the moratorium going.
And then
get that.
next year, we can celebrate all our new registered dogs,
Yeah.
hopefully.
I think that's the end goal. Let's let's get everybody on board.
Ron, would that take like a 3-meeting thing, or is it just like a 1 meeting?
Yeah, well,
You have to call a lawyer on that?
she didn't specify if it's an ordinance or a resolution, so typically, when you do anything to change a current ordinance in place, it has to be done by ordinance. And any moratoriums we've done in the past have been by ordinance. So that's my assumption, which would take 3 readings, but you could waive a couple readings if,
Yeah.
supermajority approves of that.
Right.
I'll just put it on the next meeting and get it done.
Thank you. Yes.
I mean, that's the end goal,
Yeah.
but I don't want to hear a bunch of complaining next year when all of a sudden we're starting to charge fees again, and
There's
everybody,
always going to be.
everybody loses their mind, and we only have 42 dog registrations, because last year it was
Be
free.
sure that's part in all your campaign speeches.
Yeah,
And maybe we could challenge other cities to see our cities our size, to see who could get the most new registrations of dogs.
Possible.
Plymouth, Iowa told me they knew
think we'll
down to a variance of 5 dogs.
Yeah.
Because when you move to town and get a water meter, put your name in a water meter, they ask that question right on the sheet, do you own a dog? And she says, she's got it down to about 5, a variance of 5.
We have added that to our list of
Good, good.
questions.
Excellent.
That's good. So, yeah, I like your idea, Bill, but I think we better come focus on our city first, and then go from there.
Yeah.
So we'll move on the moratorium.
And then in a year, it will be dog owner registration owner week again, and then you can do whatever you want to do.
Right? Yeah. All right, we're all good?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Moving on. Review of the 28E agreement with Franklin County and the Brush State. Mr. Dunt.
Yes, so this is a draft of a joint public service agreement between the city of Hampton and Franklin County. I'll just kind of highlight the paragraphs. This is a shared designated tree and brush burn site for the purpose of cost effectively and efficiently maintaining a tree and brush along street and road right-of-way. The city and county would enter into an agreement to cooperate in such a way as to provide joint services, provide for the storage and burning of tree and brush debris at the same location, with the city providing the land and a portion of the materials, labor, and equipment, and the county providing materials, labor, and equipment to construct said facility within the city-owned property along Olive Avenue. The city, at their sole cost, will staff, administer, and maintain the burn site for city residents and city department use. County Secondary Roads Department will be allowed to utilize the brush burn site for tree and brush maintenance of secondary roads. This agreement automatically renew unless notice of termination is given by either party, from paragraph 9, which gives either party the ability to terminate with a 60-day notice. It is under ownership, it's city-owned land. The administration, the city is designated as the lead agency for the burn site. The county agrees to aid the city in maintenance and burning operations using county labor, maintenance, and county-owned equipment at the site. The city shall maintain an adequate general liability insurance on the site for their use and name the county as additional insured. The county shall maintain insurance on equipment used at the site. Number 9, there's a termination clause I mentioned, 60 days prior to the end of the date. Parties shall approve this agreement by resolution of the respective council or board, which shall authorize the execution of the document. The agreement shall become effective when recorded and shall be effective for the duration of the project period unless terminated. There's also a couple of sample resolutions. If you go back to the last page, it would be the one that the city would consider approving the 2080 agreement. Any questions? We're looking at October 1st opening of this site.
Is that gonna be the compost also, or?
Eventually, yes, yeah. Not immediately, but
Is this similar to an agreement we already have with the county with our current brush site that we're using? Or is this completely new?
we don't have an agreement with them because the county does not use our current brush site.
Okay, I guess that's
Basically just a city one.
my next question would be, where does the county take their stuff now?
I'm not sure. Doug, do you know?
Not on 4 Mile Hill, I think.
Okay.
Pad they've used before.
South of town, evidently.
Okay. I'm sure you've probably looked into it, Doug. Do you have any concerns whether we can handle the volume that the county would bring into the city site?
Not at the new facility. Honestly, we have an overflow of dead ash trees that we ourselves have inundated things with that we have to get taken care of in the near future. But no, for as often as they're doing that kind of work, I really don't see an issue.
And I was just going to point out here also as well, in the agreement, said that the compost part of it and some of the, we're going to share that with the counts, share the big part with the county, but it's for city residents and departments only. This is not open, this is not countywide.
Right, right.
So to just make sure that we know that.
I do have one question, this is off the wall, but Barry's suggestion that he had, I don't know, 2 years ago. Wouldn't it be great if we had a site together and the county had their recycling bins out there again, like they had at the fairgrounds? Is that something that would be a possibility?
Yeah.
Is there room for that?
Yeah, we think that it's a possibility, and it would be a county's decision. They're the ones that are in charge of recycling, so we think there's enough space out there that if the county ever wants to, approach us and say, hey, can we work something out with recycling now? So I'm not sure where they stand, but I would think we should be receptive to that.
Oh, I think it'd be great.
That would be nice because someone it would be manned,
Yeah,
like where the fairgrounds was.
that was the problem.
They
Unmanned.
ended up with garbage in the recycling.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then, yeah, I think there was another issue that it wasn't meant for city residents.
Right.
Recycling was for rural residents, so that would all have to be worked out as well.
Right, right.
So if consensus is okay with this, we'll have this on for Thursday.
Everybody's all right with that? I think we get it moving because I've been kind of waiting on this for a while, and I think that'll be a very positive thing to unveil, so we'll move on it. Thank you. Next item, discuss the Image of Pride program. Could you,
Yeah, we had talked in the past about maybe changing things, expanding the program. I guess, Jerry, do you want to lead off on what thoughts you have and what you would like to see?
As we talked about it in the past, the majority of the council was in favor of doing it. And we just got stalled, we kind of waiting for a new brochure to come out for that. But I just, just offering Image of Pride 6 times a year and then calling it quits, I just think, and then also limiting just to residential properties. I'd like to see businesses take pride in their storefronts too. All the businesses, not just Main Street. I'd love to see Main Street pride. And then thinking about, with the holidays coming up, wouldn't it be fun if people trying to get the Image of Pride award, people really got into decorating their houses? It'd be a fun thing if everybody started coming to Hampton to look at the Christmas lights, not just the ones in the park, but all over town. I've seen some really cool ones in larger cities where a whole city block decorates to a theme, like Candyland or something like that. But I just think, I don't see the harm in expanding the program and recognizing more people and more entities as well. And I'd like to move forward with it. I know Jim was on board with it. I was, Pat was. Barry, you didn't like it, and that's okay.
I think it's outlived its usefulness. There's people that have got the award twice. I've approached people that didn't want their house in there, and the original intent was for people that fixed their houses up with
I
their
think-
own money, not a business that got money to fix their facade. That's taxpayer dollars. So that's how I feel about it.
Well, I would like to say, it isn't just a one-time thing a year. We have Main Street, and yes, we can tap into up to $2,000 a year for building improvements. My building is well over 100 years old. Can you imagine what I need for improvements in there? It's not just the facade. Everything that happened on the outside of my building, I financed. I needed money for a new roof. I needed money to redo the bathrooms. I need money for plumbing. That's all inside. So, we don't get a great amount of money to help us maintain our buildings, and they're old buildings. There's a lot that goes into just maintaining the front of your building on a daily basis, keeping the weeds down, keeping it painted, so on and so forth. So I really think we could fairly include businesses. There is an enormous amount of upkeep to a business building daily.
I think some businesses have been recognized in the image of pride before.
I did
Pers-
7
pers-
stars.
That's all right. Personally, I think this is a program, an image of pride means pride. Are you happy with what you did? I think we need to, I think that goes to our residents, and that's our houses. And we want to cure fix up the blighted properties, that's what we gotta do. And we've got programs like Main Street and stuff to help us with the downtown. But I think we need to, and if you just can't expand it through winter, then what? You get a prize for shoveling your sidewalk for that winter, or what? I don't know. I guess that's what are we gonna look at? I think the Christmas decorations, I think that almost goes into a different bucket at that point. Because it's not something that's gonna be there all year. It's just, we're gonna do this for Christmas, and that would be a whole different contest. So, just my 2 cents is
I
worth.
would like to add, though, the first time I did Image of Pride, I can honestly tell you I didn't understand the whole concept of it. And I think we need to be more aware of that, keeping our eye on property in our ward and seeing the improvements that are made on some rundown properties or even nuisance properties, and be more aware of that. But, Barry, you talk a lot about the nuisances that we have in town. So by expanding this, maybe we would help with that. Maybe that would help reduce the amount of nuisance properties there are, especially if we're more aware of the nuisance properties and keeping track of improvements that we see.
I think the hailstorm we had has helped with our nuisances somewhat, because I see a lot of places getting cited, and especially re-roofed, but
Right.
when they start citing it, it really makes things look nice.
I mean, I don't even know who owns the old Sandy's Flower House now, but, you know, they're getting new siding. That's gonna look 10 times better than that old faded red stuff that they had there, and it's all peeling and everything else, and I think by the time they get that done, that's gonna look real nice. And that's a prideful thing.
Well, I mean, how do you guys want to approach this? I mean, if you, I mean, there's a definition in here. I mean, it basically tells you what it is. You know, and the part that I like, it's hope that recognition of their efforts will be inspire others in Hampton to achieve their own image of pride, you know, and I think that was the hope of this program. I don't know if expanding it is the thing, because we have, you know, it's winter. You know, it's, I don't know how many people take pure pride in their lawn when it's covered with snow, so that's just me. So I think if you do want to expand it, we need to probably start with this. How do you want to do it? Do we have to have a new brochure? Let's put something together.
And last time we discussed it, when we finished that discussion, we talked about having each council member take our turn, but then also having city work people get 2 turns. They're out there in the community. They know what's going on. They know what's getting cleaned up. They see the properties that we probably don't even see. So let them submit some suggestions. And how about 2 turns for community members? Let them write in some suggestions and nominate some people. Nominate their neighbor, person across the street, on the block.
I was going to say, it's open to anybody right now. I mean, anybody can nominate anybody.
limited.
Just because we do a month, you know, if each council person has a month, people could put in, you could have 6 nominations in one year.
I'm aware of
or
that,
1
that
month.
they can, but do those get recognition? Do we really?
Yeah, last year.
If anybody
should.
have ever nominated anybody in my ward, I don't know about it.
Last year Barry had one and I had one, so I was gonna pick them anyway, but I had 3 people recommend good ones, and I gave it to
Yeah.
them,
Yeah.
and Barry had one that he had.
I think it got tucked in where it's your turn, it's his turn, it's his turn.
We didn't
It's
even do it
really
last
not.
month.
I mean, it's everybody's
Didn't
turn
get one
every
last
month.
month.
Yeah, I say expand the thing to 12 months and let the chips fall where they may, and if you got a nice-looking yard in February, you got a nice-looking yard in February.
Okay, and it's not just yards
Yeah,
and lawns,
it's-
it's the presentation of your home. And
Right?
I just remember how proud, probably the biggest image of pride I ever saw was the people that, I think, did you nominate them?
Jim did.
Jim did. They had that garden in the backyard, and they were given show and tell and everything. They were given tours of the place. I mean, some people just, you know, they get a sign in their yard for a month and big deal, but
Right.
these people, like, were really out there. I thought that was cool. They were really proud that they got that.
I just feel like it's a great program.
Okay.
Why not extend it?
Right. We gotta start somewhere. We'll start with the brochure. Everybody got ideas? You can put them together, bring them in. Let's do it on the next on a workshop. Let's get one put together and go from there. And we start any month, you know. I mean, it's Anything else?
All you gotta do is just add a month to each name and we're done.
Just start the rotation over,
Yeah,
like Bill get November.
yeah.
Okay, if you guys, what you guys want to do?
It's up to you
let's
guys.
Do that.
Yeah, I mean, we can add that. Anything else you want added?
How about y'all look it up, look it over, see if there's anything you want to change, take some, sleep with it, whatever you want to do with it. And, you know, let's get together in 2 weeks and put something together and then we can send it for press.
I just put it on the agenda Thursday night and away we go.
For adding the 6 more months?
Yeah, let's be done with it.
I mean, it's up to you
Yeah.
guys.
Up to you guys. Bill, you all right with that?
I am all right with it. I think one of the biggest issues I had with the issue of pride was, and not since prior to me becoming a council member, was sometimes it appeared like it was the prettiest house on the block, and I'm not sure if that really demonstrated pride or not. That might just demonstrated that they could afford to do these things. Sometimes pride is just taking care of your home over a long period of time and doing the very best you can, and your house shows that you're demonstrating that effort. I guess that's, go back to the roots of what pride in a home is. It's not just, can I afford to do this? It's,
And now 2 times a year you
am
get
I
to
put
pick.
in the effort?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else? Bill, Barry, you all right?
Not in favor of it.
Well, 5 to 1.
Okay. Then we got 3 to 1 right now. We don't have the other 2. So I think Jim was okay. And you know, and I'm not going to vote for him, but I think we move forward and let's expand it. And if they don't like it, we'll talk it. We'll do it on Thursday night. We got-
Okay, so we'll tweak that list, have
Yep.
2 months for everybody to just start the rotation over with, have the draft brochure for Thursday, and if it gets approved, it starts. If it
All right.
doesn't,
If it doesn't,
we
then we'll
talk about it.
start over again.
Okay?
All right.
All right.
Do it. Next, let's discuss parking restrictions on the 300 block of 3rd Avenue Southeast. Who would like to start this discussion?
This is my pet peeve. You know, we changed the parking on First Street Northwest last year because of an issue with not enough room when cars met. This is the same issue here. That's a through street. That's one of the busier streets in town. And constantly there's vehicles parked there and you have to zigzag to oncoming traffic. So I've talked to the neighbors and they don't want someone parking in front of their place that doesn't live there. And so they're happy with having no parking on that street.
You're talking the whole street.
Yeah, right, you know, at one time, we did make it the north side off of Fourth Avenue, but it hasn't helped much.
I was gonna say, we just did that not too
Right.
long ago, where it's
About the same
expanded
time
that.
we did First Street Northwest.
Yeah. Any other input on that?
So Barry, you would propose no parking on both the sides of 3rd Avenue Southeast between 3rd Street and 4th Street Southeast.
Yeah,
Have you spoken with Mr. Greg Van Griffin?
yeah.
Because I think he's the one we were worried about
Yeah, I spoke
infringing
to
on
them,
his half of the
and-
block the first
and
time.
They're happy with it. Being no parking there. I said, well, you know, he's got a daughter from Minneapolis, they park, well, they'll just have to park on Second Street when they're visiting.
And what about the people on the south end of south side of the street, that one guy's got one single stall garage
No one's living there.
that's empty.
I have a question. Is Third Avenue a narrower street than regular? Because I know some of the streets feel like they're a little bit narrower.
Yeah.
but-
About 3 cars wide.
Okay.
This one, that's the stop sign street that goes all the way through, so. It's not as narrow as some, but it's narrower than others.
Thank you.
Something like that.
I have a question for Barry, because I'm not real familiar with this area, but is this, I drove past there the other day when I saw this coming up on the agenda. Is this an issue because of the school traffic that goes through there? Is there certain times of
It's
day?
just
where-
an
or is it just
issue with
always?
the, being a through street. Everybody uses it as a shortcut.
Okay.
Not a shortcut, but, any other street,
Yeah,
you
you don't have-
got stop signs.
Yeah.
There is bus traffic on it for the school, and,
So anybody opposed with making that whole block, both sides?
I'm good. I think we wanted it last time. What happened? I can't remember what happened last time.
I think I was concerned about Van Gerpen's, but I talked to him.
But he's got plenty of driveway space
Right.
too. No,
And then we left that south side open for people to park on, so.
Can we ask our PD and our Public Works people what they think?
Sure.
I actually requested this the last time we did it. I wanted to see both. Matter of fact, I'd consider looking at taking it a step further, meaning, for me, and I don't know what the chief thinks, but when you're getting ready to pull out on those highways, and you have people parked and they don't necessarily honor that setback from the radius, it's hard to see no matter what avenue is going on there, you know what I mean? And so maybe we need to even look at some of the other intersections on First Avenue, Second Avenue, Third Avenue, Fourth, maybe even Fifth. Fifth, not so much because there's commercial down there, but First, Second, Third, and Fourth would probably be considered, and then also on the other side of the highway as well for one block, at least a half block. But for this case, yeah, I requested that last time.
Yeah, I would agree with Barry that it is very congested, especially in the early morning hours for school. And then when school's getting out, it can be difficult to navigate that intersection or that street as you're coming up to Highway 65. So at a minimum, I would say here to corner from the alley to the thing, but the whole street would be fine, as long as the neighbors are good with that. The only concern I would have ever had if I was on the council was the one neighbor on the south side. I forget who was living there, but, because they only have the one stall
Right.
garage.
Right.
But if they're okay with it,
All right, I agree with doing that street, one block. I think the other ones are open enough,
I
just
think we did the
driving
same.
through there, they,
I think we did the same thing, Mayor, when we did this one. We did the same thing by Brothers Auto to free some of that up on Second Avenue. So, that was, anytime you can alleviate that congestion near the corners entering a highway, that'd be smart for safety reasons, I think.
right. And it seems like some of the houses sit back a little bit farther when you get down into Fourth Avenue and stuff like that too, so you have a little more room. So everybody's good with doing Third Avenue, one block
yeah,
from Second?
I'd say
or-
start there too and see how that works and if we need to do other blocks and do other blocks, but I'd like to start there first.
Yeah, that seems to be the problem area, so I say we'll get that drawn up and go with that way.
Okay.
All right. Last on our agenda, review the proposed utility pole Christmas decoration replacements. Is that Mr. Tar as well? Or Mr. Dunn, either one?
I think you guys already have some photos, but they're not very good, unfortunately. They really don't show it, but I believe the top photo's of a fancy-looking snowflake, and the other photo looks like a little tiny star, but it's more than that. It's actually a Christmas tree. That gold star's on top of it. We budgeted, I believe it was like 10,000 last year, so we could start replacing them. We're running out of them. So I asked Kelsey and Becky to try to find something within the budget, what have you. These are well within the budget, it sounds like, for the 30 that we're going to purchase. And then we've also already sent it over to the chamber to let the design review committee, I believe, take a look at that. And it sounded like they were all in favor of this. So now it's your guys' turn. You like it or you don't.
We need to
Is
do
the
something.
design committee going to help with any money?
We already budgeted the money for it, so we already have it.
Got all the money
I
for
don't
it.
know, if they want to do some more down the road, that'd be great.
Yeah.
But yeah, we looked at grants, we looked at a number of different things. I think I had 2 grants that were denied in years past for that. So it was just a matter of we needed to do something. And I don't know what the delivery, how long would it take to get those or not? Do we know? No, so.
Next Christmas, maybe?
Well, well, with the
Kidding.
other things, pumps and other things, it's
Right,
taken that
right.
long.
Yeah,
Are the-
go
Are
ahead.
these imported?
I have no idea. Don't know.
Oh,
I don't know. Do we know where they're from? Minnesota company, maybe?
The big issue is the wind and the ice.
Yep.
And it just, they take a beating.
Right. These are a little bigger. Weight-wise, I believe they were 35, was it? 35 pounds? Is it on there? Like 35 or 40. They're a little heavier maybe even than kind of what we had. Downside is.
The nice thing is too, they're LEDs.
Yep.
You don't have to hassle with checking bulbs all the time and.
Right. And I believe the way these hang, it would match the holders that we already got. So we might be able just to reutilize it as long as we can make sure the pigtails are long enough to reach our electrical boxes on those vintage lights. And really, this is where we started, where we thought, we counted the poles all along Main Street and then went all the way around Bandshell, basically, and checked all those poles out. So that's kind of the area we focused on right away with these. That doesn't mean we can't, do like every third, do a wreath, do a Christmas tree, do a snowflake, or what have you.
Right.
But, the guys can alternate. They won't put them all in the same spot.
What if we just did all snowflakes? You can leave them up longer.
Sure, that's entirely up to you guys.
So are you talking about a complete revamp, getting rid of all of our current ones that we have now?
No, we still think we can keep some of those because we still have offshoots. We just wanted to start out with where we're budgeted at
Okay.
and just try to tackle that. Basically, the square, they're having that great, that event's growing every year. I'm not sure if folks have been to that or not, but that lighted parade's pretty spectacular and it just appears to be growing.
Yep.
So we figured we'd want to go just around the Bandshell and down Main Street first, and then we can look at some things for later.
Yeah, we can always add stuff later, once we,
Do a little at a time,
But,
that way we don't have to bite it all off in one chunk.
I think we could sell the old ones too and maybe make a little money to sell them to some other town.
Maybe, part of the problem, maybe they want to refurbish them or something,
Yeah.
because there's a lot to them. Or not really, but, you could go to Walmart and buy lights and throw around it. I don't know what that'll look like, but yeah, for a town smaller than us, maybe they want
yeah,
them.
yeah, I can check with the mayor of Rowan.
Okay.
She's a good friend of mine.
Right, you can get a couple towns with a couple, like 5 light poles, maybe
Yeah.
they want 5 of them.
Yeah,
Not a bad idea.
so we're okay with,
I kind of like the idea of doing all
Move forward.
snowflakes, and they're cheaper, right? Am I looking at that right?
Oh, that's
right,
right.
yeah, there's only 24. of each
Availability.
one.
And those
Oh,
numbers
I
may have
see.
gone down since you,
That's true,
Wired.
that's true, we might be looking at it again.
Yeah, we might be, yeah. supply chain's still giving us fits with certain things.
Yeah. So I'd check into it and see, if everybody's okay with that, let's move forward with it. Make sure they got 50 and 15, or 15 and 15, and
Right, we try to hang them up
Get 'em going.
right before Thanksgiving, so if
Yeah,
they
see
can
what the
deliver them
delivery
within
is gonna
30
be
days,
on
that'd
it.
be awesome. And if they're just in Minnesota, maybe we go get them, I don't know.
yeah. I could take a drive one day.
That- You're on it, Mayor.
Use your pickup.
Yeah,
All right, thank you.
all right, thank you. All right, so we're good there. Next item.
We're not done.
We're out of here. I'll ensure this. Thank you, everybody.
Are you trying to say?